What if I told you there are simple steps to stop feeling so alone? Steps that even someone like Brad Pitt had to discover. In an emotional interview, Brad opened up about his battle with loneliness. He said,
For me, what I realized was I was running to things to avoid tough feelings, painful feelings. I just didn't know how to deal with them.
does this sound familiar? Whether you're avoiding your feelings with endless distractions or you're feeling trapped in the cycle of loneliness, it's hard not to wonder, how can I escape this? You might be asking yourself, geez, is this even possible? Are these steps going to actually work for me? And let's be real, life is already overwhelming. So how simple can these steps really be? What I can tell you is this: there is a way out. The answers might surprise you, and the steps, well, they're more straightforward than you'd think. So let's uncover how you can finally break free from the weight of loneliness. Loneliness isn't just sitting in an empty room. It's feeling invisible, disconnected, and unsure if anyone truly understands you. Maybe you're scrolling through your phone. Maybe you're surrounded by other people's highlight reels, and that only makes you feel worse. Or you may be drowning in distractions like binge watching shows or overloading your calendar, hoping to avoid the weight of being alone. That's the thing. Loneliness is a universal struggle, something that each and every one of us has encountered. But here's the hard lesson: ignoring it doesn't work, it just grows. Studies show that prolonged loneliness can affect your health, your relationships, your longevity, and your mental clarity. So, what's the answer? How can you escape this endless loop of feeling isolated and disconnected and alone? All right, let's dive into the steps that'll take you from feeling stuck in loneliness to embracing a deeper connection with yourself and others. These steps aren't complicated, but they do require a little bit of effort, and the payoff is worth it. Step 1, acknowledge the feeling. The first step is simple, but often overlooked. Acknowledge that you're feeling lonely. Too often, we try to numb it with distractions, scrolling, binge watching, diving into our work, staying busy, but ignoring loneliness only gives it more power. Instead, take a moment to name what you're feeling. Say it out loud. I feel lonely right now. This simple act of recognition takes the edge off, and it begins to loosen loneliness's grip. Think of it like opening a window in a stuffy room. You're letting some fresh air in. Step 2, connect with yourself first. Here's a truth that might sting a little. If you don't feel connected to yourself, it's almost impossible to feel truly connected to others. Loneliness thrives when we lose touch with who we are. You can start getting in touch with who you are by spending 10 minutes a day journaling, practicing gratitude. Ask yourself, what do I want? What lights me up? One powerful exercise involves writing down your personal values. What truly matters to you? Identifying these values gives you a roadmap to reconnect with what makes you you. I can remember when I first took a look at my values and what was important to me. And I realized just how much I was living according to other people's expectations. I was saying and doing things that weren't even important to me, but that I thought were important to other people, so I had to keep doing them. And I really didn't realize how much this was affecting my own happiness. As I began to reconnect with my own values and what truly matters to me, I started making choices that felt more authentic. I started doing things that aligned with who I am. And that's when my sense of loneliness began to fade. I was lonely because I was not in touch with my values. I was not surrounding myself with the people and experiences that are best for me. I wasn't doing the work that I was meant to be doing. To this day, I do a values exercise at least once per year, usually twice, and it really has made a big difference in my life. Step 3, reframe loneliness as an opportunity. This is where the magic happens. Instead of seeing loneliness as something to fear or to be sad about, start reframing it as an opportunity for growth. For example, what's something you've always wanted to try but didn't have time for? Maybe it's learning to paint, taking up yoga, or starting a small garden. Using this time to explore a new hobby or interest does two things. It fills your time with meaning, and it reconnects you to parts of yourself that may have been neglected. Step 4, take one small step toward connection. Connection doesn't have to mean throwing yourself into a crowd of people. It starts with one small action. Reach out to a friend with a quick message to check in. You can join a local group or an online community that shares your interests. You can spend some time in reflection and solitude connecting with yourself. Or even something as simple as smiling at a stranger or chatting with someone in line at the store can create a sense of connection. Step 5, build a routine of self-care. Self-care is about creating a structure that supports your emotional, physical, psychological well-being. Consider creating daily rituals that make you feel good. Start with something small like taking a 10-minute walk every morning or writing down 3 things that you're grateful for. Physical movement, gratitude journaling, and consistent sleep routines have all been shown to boost emotional resilience. When you consistently take care of yourself, you send a powerful message to your brain. I matter. It can be a real turning point when it comes to overcoming loneliness. Step 6, learn to sit with discomfort. Here's the step that most people want to skip. Nobody wants to be uncomfortable. Learning to sit with uncomfortable feelings. Brad Pitt said it best. I was running to things to avoid tough, painful feelings. But when you stop running and face those emotions head on, you take away their power. The next time loneliness shows up, don't push it away, don't ignore it. Instead, sit with it for a few minutes. Breathe deeply and remind yourself this is temporary. Just like a wave, it will rise and fall. And the more you practice this, the less control that loneliness will have over your life. Step 7, celebrate your progress. Finally, take a moment to acknowledge how far you've come. Even small wins like reaching out to a friend or completing a daily journal entry, they all deserve to be celebrated. You won't wake up one day magically free from loneliness. It's the little victories, one little step at a time, that build your confidence and your sense of connection. And with each small effort, you'll start to feel the shift. And that's how change happens. Loneliness doesn't define you. It's just a signal, a nudge to reconnect with yourself, a nudge to reconnect with other people and start building something better. If you're ready for a real emotional breakthrough, there's one habit that can change everything. It's not complicated. It doesn't take hours. It's a game changer for managing stress and anxiety. You can check that out in this next video. Your emotional breakthrough starts with this habit. because adding this one simple mindfulness habit to your day could be the key to not just calm, but real mental strength. Think of it as the cherry on top of everything we've just talked about today. So click now if you're interested, and let's turn that breakthrough into your new normal.